This Sun-Gazette video coverage is proudly sponsored by Woodlands Bank.
Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Sports Talk. I'm your editor, Jon Gerardi, alongside with Henry Huber here. We're going to break down a little bit of wrestling since the season's kind of underway. You know, kind of a lot to get into, Henry, but obviously you covered Central Mountain at the Top Hat tournament with some other local schools we'll get into, and obviously you covered them earlier this week with Mifflin County. I think it's safe to say Central Mountain's pretty loaded.
Yeah, I mean, even without one of their state medalists in Dalton Perry from last year, they're 2-0 in duels and took first in Top Hat by a steady margin. So I would have to agree with you there.
They had, I think, 6 wrestlers reach the finals at the Top Hat. I think two champions and
Yes.
four runners up. Obviously ran away with the team title there. Mm-hmm. I guess what kind of stuck out to you the most about their individual performances there at the Top Hat?
I mean, just composure. And the big thing is that they have coming in that I guess works to mitigate the loss of Dalton as Aiden Coons as a freshman. I mean, he placed as a runner-up in Top Hat against a lot of good opponents. The pressure didn't get to him, and then of course, I mean, with a lot of those seniors, they're very much used to it. Luke Simcox and Rocco Serafini each took the finals, and I mean, they know they've been there, so yeah.
And Aiden being just a freshman, I mean, the Top Hat has some of the best competition in the whole state coming in. For a freshman to have that much success, especially in that type of thing, I feel like that's only going to be beneficial for him going down the road too, as the season gets going.
I mean, he'll be. I mean, I imagine with a couple years under his belt, he'll be top 5 in state for the years to come. I mean, he's already ranked in states, so that's very impressive for just starting out like that.
Yeah, Central Mountain's going to be a tough school to beat. I mean, every year they're always tough. They're going to be tough again this year. While they have a bunch back, Williamsport's kind of on the other end. They lost a few kids. They lost Kale Nasdio, a defending 4-time district champion, state medalist and champion last year. Nyreek Burks at the Top Hat competed. He got to, I believe, the Constellation semis before he got hurt. Had to withdraw from that. But what did you kind of see from him that kind of stood out from you? Because he seems to be I think he's kind of a wrestler in our area who could be poised for a good year.
Just staying in the match, not because he had a tough match to get to semis. The guy he was facing was able to rack up some points, but he didn't let that get to him. Made a couple critical plays and was able to advance. It's unfortunate we didn't get to see what he was able to do in the further rounds, but I mean he showed good flashes from what I saw.
Coach Brian Nasdio always has Williamsport kind of their wrestlers ready to compete, ready to go on against good challenges. I think he'll be able to get Williamsport kind of in the right direction once the season kind of gets going. They may take few losses here and there early on to go, but I think from reading the preview for the tab that came out today, I think they have the pieces to be able to be competitive in the league.
Yeah, and I want to see what Colin Nasdio can do. We didn't get to see him at Top Hat. I didn't get to talk to Brian about why that was the case, but he was a regional qualifier. I want to say as a sophomore. So I mean, that's a critical piece that they missed in Top Hat. So.
We'll kind of get into just some other area teams here and kind of what they have back. We'll start with Warrior Run. Last year they had an incredible season. They won the district team title for the first time, got to states in the team tournament, had multiple. I think they had 7 state qualifiers individually in the tournament. Numerous make runs, including the Milheim brothers. I guess if you're going against Warrior Run, you're kind of looking at no matter what weight you're wrestling at, you're going to have a tough matchup.
Yeah, I mean, from when I was talking to Jeremy Betts, it seemed like they had a lot of people that were challenging for starting positions. I mean that's obviously a testament to their depth and, and what they have going for them. Very interested to see what they do when they take the mats.
Mm-hmm. You know, you got for Montgomery. You know, you got Connor Hare, defending state champion, back. He's only, I believe, as of today, I think 10 or so wins from the all-time record at Montgomery. So safe to say he'll get that at some point here.
Yeah.
You got Brant Hare, who as a freshman came off a state medal or silver medal finish, which was, you know, an incredible run for him. They have a lot back from that team too. You know, let's just talk about Connor for a second. I mean, you know, for the preview, you kind of mentioned him, went through what he did last year. Just what kind of stood out to you about what he kind of brings to the table, if you will?
I mean, I guess it's just unprecedented success. I mean, as you said, you know, he's right there for the career record for wins, which is insane. I mean, you know, and then a lot of you know, hardware, a lot of. I mean, you know, he's been at the highest stages, and I want to say they've been competing nationally as well. I believe that's what Coach Denny told me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. And you know, and Connor, like, you know, Montgomery's had a lot of outstanding wrestlers over their program's history. So for him to be making a run at the all-time record, that's pretty impressive in and of itself. They have a lot of good matches coming up. I think sometime in January I saw they host Warrior Run for a dual meet. So that'll be a really good one to get to.
And I mean, they've already they placed third at the Cumberland kickoff. I don't know if I got that.
I think that's right.
Okay. And I mean, like, just looking at the results there, I mean, there was a lot of impressive stuff. I mean, Brant and Connor took gold, and they had two runners up as well, and Manny and Caden.
Yeah, so. And Caden, I believe, reached 100 wins as well during that tournament.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't get to, you know, you weren't able to reach Coach Ben Hepburn from Loyalsock for the tab, but they have two returning regional qualifiers back. I'm sorry, three. Ethan French, I believe, is one. But Braden Vincennes and Caden Rodarm are both back. They lost Carter Sikora. But last year was the first time Loyalsock had three regional qualifiers for the first time since 2006. So they're, you know, the team scores might look a little lopsided and stuff for a few forfeits and stuff, but they have the individual pieces there to compete. And I think with both Caden and Brandon back, I think that gives them a lot of experience, especially for those younger wrestlers on the team for them to kind of look up to them.
Exactly. I mean, that's something I mean, throughout all my conversations with coaches, having leadership that's you know, been to the big stages has been a big deal for a lot of them. So I could definitely see that. You know, like them building around that, and you know, maybe putting up some more team wins as a result.
You know, Muncie has state champion Austin Johnson back. I know he didn't compete at the Top Hat tournament, but I think he's going to be another wrestler that I think is going to have another phenomenal season. And like you said, back to that experience, you know, he brings a ton back for that team, and they have multiple district qualifiers back, I believe, as well. So they're going to be a team I think that's going to be tough to beat this year as well.
Yeah, I mean, once they, I want to say that's, you know, they're like a little banged up from football. So once they get all those wrestlers back, I think they'll have a lot to work with. I mean, not to mention Austin comes in as a junior, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, already state champion. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, he wrestled outstanding last year alongside his brother Scott, who graduated. So he's only going to get better, I feel, as the year progresses, as it gets going. You know, going to Montoursville, that was another team last year that had a lot of individual success. You know, the one wrestler who stuck. I mean, they had a lot of wrestlers who qualified, but one that stuck out to me was at 107, Telly Babotas. He just has so much speed when he's on. I mean, you haven't seen him yet, but he has so much speed when he's on the mat that it's crazy how fast he's able to get in and out of moves, get out of takedowns, stuff like that. And so I'm curious to see how much better he's gotten, how much his footwork's gotten better, his strength, and all that. I
mean, yeah, based on what Matt Yonkin told me, it seems like he's put a lot of work in over the off season, so we could definitely see a jump. I mean. I'd say the sky's the limit there.
I was going to say, for Montorzo, who are some other wrestlers that Coach Yonkin kind of noted that he thinks can help step up again this year?
So I'm blanking a little bit, but I know his son's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
That's my mind's blank on that.
No.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I know they have a good. I don't have the rosters or anything in front of me, but I know they do have a good chunk back from last year that they'll be able to build upon and have success again this year.
Of course, and I mean, Coach Yonkin is I mean, he'll hit 100 career wins this season. I mean, likely. I don't want to.
Yeah, don't jinx it.
Yeah, but he's just 12 games away there, or 12 matches away. So,
yeah, and that'll be a good milestone for him with that program too.
100%.
You know, and let's talk a little bit about Canton too, because I know you talked to Coach Lyle Wisniewski. I believe he mentioned about having a good amount of wrestlers coming out, a good turnout for the program in terms of being a real small school. Just talk a little bit about what he kind of had to say for his outlook for this year.
I mean, it's they've definitely been building up over the past few years, and they have a lot of experience back. And yeah, I mean, just he's had a lot of success there as well. And with just as you said, small school, it's pretty impressive that they're able to produce 20-man rosters like that, with such a small graduating class.
One other county school this year, Jersey Shore. They lost Hayden Packer, who is wrestling out of Rutgers. Unbelievably talented multi-sport athlete. He was incredible in football and wrestling. He's their all-time wins leader. But they do have back Brock Weiss, 100 plus wins coming into this year. He missed out last year on the postseason, didn't make weights, wasn't able to compete. But I feel like he's going to have a lot of motivation to kind of to show what he could have done last year in his last year.
Yeah, I mean, and early success, proves that he can get back there. So I'm interested to see what he can do as well.
Yeah, honestly, there's a lot of talented kids throughout the area. I mean, obviously, District 4 is a hotbed and for wrestling, and I feel like our areas, we have a lot of great wrestlers here. I guess, of all that we kind of spoke on, what are you this is obviously your first year covering wrestling, Central Mountain, that's your kind of first look at it, but who are you kind of looking forward to seeing kind of this year early on? I mean,
individual-wise or team-wise?
But a little of both, yeah.
I mean, definitely in regards to teams, Montgomery faces both Montersville and Warrior Run this year, so all those matches I'm looking forward to. And I mean, Warrior Run, Montersville. I'm interested to see what Williamsport can do when they have their wrestlers back.
Yeah.
And then in regards to individuals, I would say the Hare brothers, the Milheims, of course. And definitely interested to see what Austin Johnson can do at Muncie.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot there for sure. And I guess with there are a few other teams that I'm interested to see if they're able to build up, or I mean just build on last year.
Yeah.
Milton in their first year in the Heartland won, did they struggled a little bit, but they have a lot of talent back. Sullivan County has their biggest team in the last few years, and they're building off a year where they won a couple matches and had a lot that were close. So I mean, there's just so much to be excited about.
Yeah, the Hare. Last year, I got thrown in there covering wrestling, and I started kind of not really sure about much because I'd never covered it before. But by the end, when we got to states, it's a fun sport to cover and watch. And the Hare brothers just stuck out to me throughout districts, regionals, and sectionals. They're just so talented and so good at what they do. And it's like Cameron Milheim wrestled against Connor. I believe it was 5 or 6 straight weekends in a row, and Connor just kept getting the best of him every single time. And that's not. And Connor, he was Milheim. He was a 40+ win wrestler, ranked in the state. It's not like it was like an easy opponent, but Connor is just incredible. Just kept getting the best of him. So he'll be a fun one to watch when you get out to a Montgomery match.
Yeah, I mean, just what I was reading from results, it's kind of a blink and you'll miss it type of deal. They had a couple really fast pins. I guess within their Cumberland kickoff run, and then their opening dual match against Sullivan County.
Yeah, I believe against Cumberland. Or I'm sorry, against Sullivan, I think Maria and Connor both had pins in like 20 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's one of those things, if you look down or away, blank, you might miss the whole match. That's how good and fast they are.
Believe me, I'm gonna be looking for those names popping up on the website or however that however it transpires.
Yeah. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for us here for Sports Talk. We kind of went over a lot for wrestling. We got our winter tab out, came out today on Friday. Goes over girls basketball, boys basketball, wrestling. We have throughout our daily section this past week, we had a lot of swimming coverage in there. Girls wrestling, that's the first year for girls.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be talking about that at some point here this season. So a lot of previews, a lot of content, so make sure to grab an edition.